Hey guys, Floponomics. Welcome back to another top 10. I know, it's been a while since we've done one of these, and I know you guys have missed them, so I'm gonna try and bring them back a little bit. I know that's what a lot of you guys were here for, and I kind of abruptly switched up content styles on you guys, and obviously you guys didn't like that, but unfortunately, some things happened in real life to where I wasn't able to make these kinds of videos for quite a while. I'm still kind of limited on what I can do with these videos, but I am working to resolve those issues. If you want to hear more about what happened to where I wasn't able to make these videos, I actually talked about it briefly in my first GTA 5 stream. And oh yeah, we've been streaming now here on the channel. If you want to catch me playing GTA, Resident Evil, anything like that, make sure to subscribe with the notifications on. I don't really stream at any scheduled time. It's just kind of whenever I feel like gaming, we hop on, we chill, we play something. And I'm serious, even in this last week of streaming alone, I've started streaming at 7 a.m., noon, 2 a.m. It does not matter. We stream whenever. So I'm happy to say today we are counting down the top 10 worst rocks in Call of Duty Zombies. You guys have been asking for it for 6 months, so today we're finally gonna do it. So, without further ado, without any more wasting your time, let's get right into it. I know this is what you guys have been waiting on. Alright, coming in at number 10, the best of the worst rocks, we have to give it to the Firebow rock on Drak. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you can hit this thing right out the gate, right out the rip every time, good on you. I can't. I hate this thing. You got a limited time to hit it every like 5 or 6 minutes whenever the rocket decides to launch itself, and it's just a pain. And it's like one of the first steps you have to do for the Firebow. And I hate this rock, but you mess around with it enough and you get the Firebow. And that's why it gets the number 10 spot on our list. Coming in at number 9, we have a little bit maybe of a controversial pick, because it's not technically one rock. Technically, it's not a rock at all. Technically, it's a smooth texture pretending to be a rock. But at the same time, it doesn't really get in my way. I just don't like looking at it. So, number 9. And coming in at our number 8 spot, we have a rock on Togdertoten that it doesn't look bad by itself, but whenever you compare it to its environment, it just is taken so far back and knocked down so many pegs that I don't even think it's on the ladder anymore. It's just, I don't know, it's the ugly friend of the group. I don't like it. Number 8. Speaking of the ugly friend of the group, I'm gonna put this guy in the 7th place spot because I hate the way he looks, and I hate the fact that he blocks and takes up so much of this room, because I feel like this room would be just so much better if the center of it was playable. I mean, that is such a bad box spawn for it to be a guaranteed box spawn. I hate it. And from the 7th ring of Dante's very own, we drop down to the 6th. And on the 6th, I'm gonna be honest, this one's gonna go to the Dead of the Night crystals. I don't really care for them. I don't like that this is how you have to get Pack-a-Punch. I don't like the tuning forks. I don't like having to know all these different spawns by looking at the images of them. But if you do know them, it's really not that hard. And it's not that hard to put together most of the time anyway if you get easy ones. And also, it's Dead of the Night. Boo womp. And coming in at number 5, leading off the worst of the worst of the rocks, we have the mud trap on Shang. Now, not the mud itself, but the pedestals you have to step on in order to walk across the mud trap. You're forced to follow the path that the pedestals set you on, and if you try and deviate from this course, walls block you, but if you stand on the pedestals long enough, they will just go away, sink down in the mud, and then you're slower than a turtle in a wheelchair. And as you try hopelessly to hop your way out of the mud, a zombie will come up behind you and rim you. It's just inevitable, and why it gets the number 5 spot. And coming in at the number 4 spot, now this one is a little bit of a personal pet peeve, and it's definitely not a biased position at all on this list. And it's on Call of the Dead and Togdertoten. This one rock right here, if it wasn't here, you'd be able to cut this corner so much quicker. You're able to cut these little rocks that are right there, but you're not able to jump over this big one, or even if you were able to just like hop on top of it. I'm pretty sure it's there in Call of the Dead as well, but pet peeve. And coming in at the number 3 spot, we have a rock that's guilty of a sin that no rock should be guilty of, and and that is shame. This rocky coward hiding away in the hay in the Origin spawn room makes my skin crawl. Cowardice is reserved for communists and herbivores. And here we have one of the strongest things on the planet hiding away under a blanket of hay. Shameful, really. Moving on. And at the number 2 spot, we have to have this rock. I mean, it's just a sad mockery of a different rock that was just so much better and done so much earlier. And that's really all I have to say about that. And no, I'm not even gonna load up the map to give you guys footage of it. I mean, you don't want to see it anyway. This is about as much of the map as you can stomach. Don't lie to me. Alright, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, if you've been around here for a while, or if you've watched top 5s and top 10s on YouTube, you probably know what's going on here. Before we get to the number 1 spot, we gotta go over the honorable mentions. And today, we've got one map with a lot of honorable mentions, because I didn't want this map to take up like 4 spots on the list. And that map, ladies and gentlemen, is Revelations. From the stones in the sky that you have to hit to upgrade the Apothecan's Servant, to the tombstones you have to shoot to start the Easter egg, to the bones you have to collect by shooting different stones around the map. God, the lasers that you have to hit on the different stones and the different rocks. There are just so many pieces of mineral maleficency on this map, and I hate it. I hate it. I am actively rock racist towards this map, and you can quote me on that. Anyway, moving into the number 1 spot. And at the number 1 spot, the worst rocks in all of Call of Duty Zombies have to go to the Shang Pack-a-Punch mechanic. Oh my god, doing this with a single person is so easy. It's ridiculous. You turn on power, and then you go stand on a stone for a couple of seconds, and it turns on Pack-a-Punch, and you Pack-a-Punch your weapons, and then you just repeat it pretty much every time you want to go Pack-a-Punch. It's not that crazy, and not that hard to do, easy as pie. Shrimple as. But the more players you have in the game, the more and more difficult it gets to actually synchronize these people onto the different stones, because if there are 4 people in the game, there are 4 stones that have to be held down all at the same time for Pack-a-Punch to be open. And Shangri-La is not exactly an easy map, complete with 2 different types of special enemies to make sure you're not sitting still, as well as monkeys that'll steal your power-ups, so you've got to be on the ball if you do get a power-up that you want. It is just not a very fun time to be messing with these rocks. Anyway, my name has been Floponomics. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And have a good day.